What is manifestations? What's going on, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome to the journey so far, where we talk all things spirituality, as well as some law of attraction. Also, whatever questions you guys have regarding spirituality. Now, you're probably wondering, wow, you just look like a regular guy. You don't look like a guru. You're not dressed in robes. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't necessarily need to meet that outside criteria in order to become a spiritually wise and enlightened being. Now, don't be alarmed. I am I am very wise in all of these things, so I'm just happy to share my knowledge with you. So, whenever we talk about manifestations, you can look up on YouTube, or maybe you've seen the movie The Secret or read it, and they do a great kind of idea of manifestations, but they don't really go into like the exact definition or exactly how to understand it onto a higher level. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what it is. I'm going to also break down exactly what's going to happen to you as you go through these manifestation techniques into basically creating whatever you want to have happen in your life. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So whenever we talk about manifestations, to the common world, to the person with the regular mind, they understand it as ask for it and receive it. So through like affirmations, through just the thought. So I remember when I first heard about manifestations when I was younger, I remember thinking, this sounds convoluted and impossible. So basically, a lot of the people will tell you, like, you think about it, whatever you put out there into the universe, you will receive. Now, we do that through different techniques, whether it is writing affirmations, or raising our vibrations, feeling as if things have happened already, where it's like, if we want $1 million, we must feel it like we have become millionaires, that we have met that goal in our lives. And those are all great things to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get that manifestation. So on the spiritual side, whenever we talk about manifestations, it's a very easy technique. But most people get disgruntled because they set these parameters, they set these expectations, like, I'm going to make $100,000 this year, I'm going to make $1 million. And then they get frustrated because the time that it takes for that manifestation to come in is not meeting your criteria. Now, in order for a manifestation to occur, you have to basically get your whole mindset shifted. So right now, for a lot of people, when they're wanting to attract $1 million or even the love of their life, there's a lot of training that needs to go on within the mind, as well as a lot of transformation in order for your mind to think like a millionaire or think like a person that truly does want true love in their life. And that happens through what we call like the spiritual process, where basically you're going to shift your mentality. So yes, it's not going to happen overnight. Anybody who tells you like instantly gain your manifestations, they have good points to make, but can you instantly manifest? Yes and no. And I'm going to walk you through that later on in this video. But we have to undergo a giant transformation in our minds and our perceptions and how we understand things, whether it's suffering or negative conversations, stuff like that. And this is all going to happen within the path. But just remember that manifestation is not just a receive. It is an entire journey entirely. So in order you to, get that $1 million, you need to learn the steps you need to in order to manage that $1 million, in order to make sure you don't just go blow it or ruin your life, much like lottery winners, we've all seen those. And so as you go through this journey, everything is going to change within your mind. So if you're trying to go for that love of your life, you're going to naturally start to see things. You're going to naturally perceive things as differently. Maybe those people you were attracted to before maybe are not attractive any longer because the way that they live their lives. And that is exactly how that manifestation is coming into play, because now you're kind of gaining an enlightenment. You're kind of gaining a more self-awareness, a self-realization that these things that you used to like, that you used to love and desire, are no longer holding any place within your mind or within your heart. And that is the normal process of a manifestation. When we talk about $1 million, same thing. your what you desired before. It could have been like that new car or that giant house. Now all of a sudden that's going to change. So don't be alarmed if like your ideas, your mentalities, your desires, your wants, if they change, because that's just the natural process of it. And so whenever we try to go for these manifestations, just be aware that you are entering a journey now. You are going down the right path. In spirituality, we often say that whenever we're asked, like, Justin, how do we go about on the spiritual life? How do we find this spiritual awareness or the spiritual awakening? And nobody ever really likes my answer, but it is unfortunately the only answer. And that is, you are on the path already. It will happen. You cannot fight the spiritual awakening. It'll happen whether you are 1 year old or on your deathbed. That realization is going to come in. Now, whenever we try to get the manifestations, that's probably part of the journey. That's part of your journey. There's a reason why you clicked on this video. There's a reason why you're wanting to learn these things, is because this journey has led you here. That's exactly how the spiritual process works. That's exactly how manifestation works. Every single step is the next step towards that goal. And so now that you understand that, don't get disgruntled if it doesn't happen the way you expected it. Don't get disgruntled if you don't get that $1 million this year, or you don't get that love of your life this year. That is fine. These things, it's not on your time. It's on a greater essence of time. It is beyond your comprehension in this moment. But as you journey through this, you will eventually get to that landing spot. You will eventually get to that wisdom. And so whenever we get into this, now you're going to be seeking more knowledge. Now you're going to be seeking more wisdom. And then the manifestations will come. Then you will hit your $1 million. Then you will find the love of your life. The important thing here is to remember to trust the journey. Sometimes we might fall off, but that's part of it as well. You'll come back. You'll always come back. It's like a river. You cannot just branch off the river. You'll eventually just come back to it, right? Because all rivers lead to the ocean, and the ocean is the spiritual life. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys left with some better information as far as like what manifestations are, as well as how to accumulate those. Whenever we talk about like making a manifestation happen, some of the best practices we do is there's a saying where it's an abundant heart, a grateful heart is a receiving heart. And so practice really giving some gratitudes to yourself. Whenever we talk about trying to do the manifestations, make everything a manifestations, because you gotta remember the way our conscious mind works. Like, let's say like this book right here. I mean, it's a book. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. It is a book. So say you're gonna go buy a book, and then go buy that book. Now you've manifested that book. So you kind of have to reprogram your mind in a way in order to understand manifestations on a truthful scale. Because right now, for a lot of people, it sounds convoluted and way out there. But as you start kind of reconditioning your mind to understand what a manifestation is, then it will become easy. So one of my favorite things to do is say, I'm going to manifest me a cup of coffee today. I'll always go get that coffee. And so, therefore, my manifestation always comes true. But that's part of that reconditioning process. And as well as gratitudes, you have to hold a lot of gratitude. You can either do that with a gratitude journal, or my favorite thing to do, and this is a spiritual practice, is where we hold pranam, where we hold prayer, and thank your body. When was the last time you thanked your heart, your heart for beating, your lungs for breathing, your kidneys for detoxifying your blood, your stomach for digesting your food, but also your feet for holding you up, your back for being painless. I have diabetes. I always thank my pancreas for being powerful and producing the insulin I need, even though it doesn't even know that. But practicing these gratitudes will also help raise those vibrations. So if you've seen those type of videos, now you kind of understand a little bit more, raising your vibrations by thanking your body. And after doing that for 2 weeks, you're gonna feel pretty amazing. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. But also, while you're at it, if you would not mind hitting that subscribe and that notification bell, that way you never miss an episode, because I am dedicating this year to making it all of our best years yet and raising our consciousnesses. Namaste. Bye.